what is up, guys? It is a brand new day today. It's your boy Slim back at it again, and here I am gonna walk you guys through Misfits Series X03. I was super privileged enough to commentate the event on fight night. I even was part of the pre-game show, or pre-fight show as I should say, and I had so much fun on there. They put my dream fights, my 4 dream fights that I put up. One of them was a Nissan Gibb, KSI, Floyd, Money, Mayweather, and Conor McGregor, man. In the clip, I said 3 of those fights were dream fights, but one of them is a fight that needs to happen. Slim versus Nissan Gibb, just for the culture, man, just for the culture. One day it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be a headline fight, and it's gonna be probably one of the best crossover boxing matches to date. But enough about me. Let's get into the fights that happened in Misfits 03. I literally had so much fun commentating alongside Todd Grisham and Wade Plem. Like, commentating for the first time, like calling a fight as a go was so difficult, bro. Like, it's for my first time, I think I did pretty good. But yo, commentating with the pros like Todd Grisham and Wade Plem, yo, when I was doing it with them, it made me realize like how good these guys are at doing their job. Like, they're so good, like top of the game at what they do. You know, Todd Grisham, he's a very experienced commentator. He's been doing it for SmackDown. Now he's doing X Series, and he also does the Zone as well. Wade Plem, yeah, I know him from YouTube. He's just a naturally gifted dude. I always tell him how much I admire his commentating skills because he's so good at what he does. You know, to be commentating alongside with them, it was so fun, dude. Like, I had a great time. So we're going to start off with the first fight of the night. It was Minikon versus Nick Joseph. You guys might know him as a knick-knack, paddywhack guy. But they had a fight, and it was a pretty good fight. You know, Nick Joseph came in, he was swinging, and he was landing some punches. But as the rounds were going, he started gassing out, and Minikon was doing his thing. He was landing his 1-2. This fight ended up in a DQ, like a disqualification. And not a disqualification because of illegal like tactics. It was disqualification because of holding, bro. In the last round, it was the 3rd round or 4th round, I should say. And they disqualified Nick for holding too much. I watched a lot of boxing fights. I've never seen someone get disqualified for holding, but I think even if they went the distance, Minikon would have won. So congratulations to Minikon. It was a good matchup. Second fight of the night, we had Ice Poseidon versus Brandon Buckingham, and these guys also made their debut. These kind of fights, you never know what's gonna happen. But 2 tall, long guys. But Brandon was obviously a little bit much bigger. I think Ice Poseidon did a pretty good job. He was landing some punches, but as soon as they started trading, you could see who was the stronger guy, and it was Brandon, because you could tell he dropped down a lot in weight to come down to the weight class that they agreed in. He did his thing, bro. He landed one big right hand, and that changed the fight, and Ice Poseidon was on wobbly legs. I was screaming on commentary. I was like, yo, ref, save him, because he was wobbling, and if it kept going, it would have ended very, very bad. So congrats to Brandon. He finished the fight in the 1st round. Great job. Third fight of the night. Very interesting matchup because it was my former opponent, Faze Temperrr, making his comeback since he lost to me back in August the 27th. And he was fighting Overtflow, and Overtflow also fought a Faze member. He got knocked out by Faze Sensei in the 3rd round. Got matched up against Faze Temperrr. They boxed it out, and it only went like 25 seconds. And the counter punch that Faze Temperrr landed was beautiful. It was actually a beautiful one too. You know, Overtflow threw a punch. Faze Temperrr stepped back at the right, like the perfect time, and then he stepped back in with the 1-2. The left hand, he's a southpaw. His left hand landed beautifully right on the chin of Overtflow. Shut him down. Like, his brain shut off as soon as he got hit in the chin. He was out of it. He didn't want any more. So congratulations to Faze Temperrr. I'm actually happy for him because it's a great comeback fight, and I respect that. Like, you know, after a loss like that, to step back in the ring so quickly and to redeem himself, that's respect. You gotta respect it, man. But they asked him if he wanted a Slim rematch. Here's a little clip.
I definitely want that rematch, whether it's next fight or down the line, but for sure want that rematch. Anybody can get it, though.
He's looking for the Slim rematch. To be honest, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, I don't think he deserves the rematch just yet. There's still a lot more to prove to jump back in the ring with Slimmy Slim, because I'm telling y'all, when I get in the, I know I joke around a lot, but when I get in that boxing ring, I turn into the Hitman, and I ain't no joke, son. I ain't no joke. I'm telling you, I ain't no joke, son. And there's still a lot of great potential matchups for me in this scene, so I don't want to jump back into a rematch until it's good timing, you get me? But speaking of rematches, the next fight was King Kenny versus DK Money. King Kenny is a guy that's been fighting through controversy through his first 2 fights. First fight, he won against Faze Temperrr, but they overturned it. And then the second fight, he won against Faze Sensei for the Cruiserweight Championship. And it was very controversial. A lot of people believe Sensei won that fight, but he had to prove himself on Saturday night, and he did, bro. He got a 1st round knockout on DK Money, who's actually a pretty decent fighter. Like, he could punch. That man could punch, and he's a big guy. He can move on his feet pretty well. But King Kenny made a great statement win, defended his belt, 1st round KO in a different country. Gotta respect it, man. So he got a KO. Faze Temperrr got a KO. Do we see a rematch? Do we see a rematch down the line? I would love to see that, and I would pay good money to watch that as well. Then, leading up was one of the most hurtful fights of the night. My boy Hasim Rahman Jr. versus Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy is a 320-pound dude, bro. This guy is huge. Hasim weighed in at 220. It was about a 100-pound weight difference. And a 100-pound difference is no joke, yo. Like, huge massive respect to Hasim for taking this kind of fight, especially on such short notice, because his original opponent, Vitor Belfort, pulled out because he had COVID. And Hasim had 2 fights that were canceled, and I think he just wanted to get back in the ring. Took this fight, 4-round fight. His first round, he was completely dominating that round. He was completely dominating the first round. But as the rounds went on, Greg Hardy caught him with a couple big shots, and when you're taking shots like that from a big boy, it could change a lot, man. So I respect Hasim. He went the distance with him, survived. He got a box. He lost, but this is not the end of Hasim Rahman Jr. Inshallah, we'll see my brother back better and stronger than ever, man. And hopefully he can fight someone in his size, bro, because that weight difference was way too much, especially coming for a comeback fight. I think it was a little too crazy of a matchup. Like, matchmaking needs to be better for the next one. But my boy will be back, inshallah. Moving on to the co-main event. Josh Bruckner versus Chase DeMoor. Interesting matchup. Another big size difference. Josh Bruckner came in at like 205 pounds versus Chase DeMoor, 240 pound. And Chase DeMoor ain't no joke. That boy huge, bro. He's so big. He's like 3 slims put together. When I stand next to the guy, he makes me look so tiny, man. He's a big boy, bro. He's not really experienced too much, but he came in fighting a much more experienced man than Josh Bruckner, who did professional MMA, fought a pro fight before in 2019 on the KSI Logan undercard. Josh just looked very he was smooth, but the fight started out with Chase DeMoor chasing him around the boxing ring. Even though there were sloppy punches, some punches were actually sliding in through Josh's guard, catching him in the side of his head and stuff. So I know he was hurting him, but I knew at that rate, if you're punching at that rate, you're gonna exhaust yourself. So that's what he did. He got exhausted midway through the first round because he was throwing a lot of punches and bunches. Josh started slowly taking over the fight. Even the second round, I could see it in Chase's eyes, like he was out of energy. He was out of it. The fight ended by the corner just telling him that he couldn't continue anymore. And I think it was the best decision, because if it kept on going, it would have ended very badly, especially with how he exhausted himself. But massive respect. I respect Chase for taking a fight like this against Josh, because nobody wanted to fight Josh, man. Nobody wanted to fight that dude. He's big. Been doing this for a long time too. So was definitely not an easy matchup. Congratulations to Josh for being ICB champion, the new heavyweight champion. And moving on to my favorite fight of the night, the main event. Yo, dude, I was so excited for this fight. I was waiting all week for it. Waleed Sharks versus Dean the Great. What a fight, yo. What a fight. Such a good fight. This is the type of fight that takes crossover boxing to the next level. Dude, I loved it. I loved every second of this fight. And I'm so privileged to be able to commentate this fight. I was commentating this fight, which was amazing. Round 1 started. Waleed Sharks was dominating. He was completely dominating this fight. First round, he dropped Dean the Great, hit him with the right hand, hit him behind the ear. Dean the Great's gloves touched the ground. Both gloves touched the ground. It should have been ruled as a knockdown, but it was not ruled as a knockdown. They counted it as a slip. Second round, Waleed Sharks caught him with a straight right down the pipe. Caught him with a left hook. It dropped Dean. He fell down. He got back up like a champion. Started fighting again. And then Waleed catches him again with another right hand. Drops again 2 times. So the first round should have been a 10-8 round. Second round, 10-7 round. And then it comes to the third round, and Waleed continued to outbox Dean. Dean landed some great counter right hands as well. Waleed was landing the more critical punches throughout the fight, and he caught him with another massive left hook. I got to give it to his chin, because he was taking some big punches. But it's not how you start the fight, it's how you end the fight. Dean kept coming forward, even after taking so much punishment. Kept coming forward like a champion, and he caught Waleed slipping with a big, beautiful overhand right. It was such a beautiful punch, because it was some people, when they throw their overhand rights, they're wide and stuff, but it was a tight punch, very fast, very accurate, and you hear the punch when it landed. It landed beautifully, right on Waleed's chin, and it sent him flat on his back, bro. Waleed looked out of it, bro. He literally looked out of it. He got back up to his feet, went to the corner, and it was kind of controversial because he turned his back to the ref, and that's something you shouldn't be doing. That's something. When you do that, it just shows that you don't want to fight anymore. And he was leaning against the turnbuckle, especially the ref was up to 8, counted up to number 8. I feel like the ref should have told him, yo, are you able to continue? But he just called it off right then and there. And Dean won the fight. It was a beautiful fight, man. Such a beautiful fight. I got to give respects to Dean the Great. I'm a fan of the kid, bro. I'm genuinely a fan of the kid. I love watching him fight. I love his attitude. Super entertaining to me. He's really entertaining to me. And I also give massive props to Waleed, because he's a young kid. He's 18 years old. He came in. He was dominating the fight. And all it took was one good right hand. And it was an early night. That's it. One good right hand could change the whole fight. I was looking at Waleed in the corner, bro. He looked so like emotional. He looked so sad, and I can't imagine because you know he's a young kid, and to be fighting on a big stage like that, and to lose a fight like that you were winning the whole time, it must hurt. So like when I saw him, I went up to him in the corner and I spoke to him. I was like, yo, man, like, yo, be proud of yourself, bro. You did a great job. Your first time, you're young. And he was just upset. He's like, you know, that's bullshit, bro. You know, that's bullshit. I was telling him, you know, take this as a learning experience. You learn, you grow. You're young, bro. He's 18 years old. Like, you young as hell. He has every right to be a little emotional because, you know, when I was young, I was super competitive. I'm still competitive, but I've always been competitive to the point like if I ever lost, I would like be devastated to anything. Like I understand his pain, and I felt really bad when like looking to him. But I told him he did really good, and I enjoyed watching him fight. Like it was a great fight. But end of the day, it was massive respects to Dean the Great for going through that much adversity in his second pro fight. Like he took a difficult challenge in his second fight. Came out on top, getting dropped 3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times he got dropped. And he came back with a beautiful overhand right, won the fight. It was such a good fight, dude. Like, it was such a good fight. I enjoyed every second of it. Such a good fight. A lot of people want to see a rematch, but I don't think rematches should happen right away, to be honest. Like, it would be nice to see a rematch. I would love to watch them fight. Like, I would pay to watch these guys fight 10 times. That's how entertaining that first one was. Rematches, I don't think rematches should happen right away. I think they should go out throughout time. Let these guys... They already fought. Let them go through their own roads. And if their roads collide again, make that rematch happen, if you know what I mean. But anyways, y'all, it's been Slimmy Slim. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe. Your boy's returning to the boxing ring in January on the card of KSI versus Dylan Dennis. I will be revealing my opponents very soon. So make sure you guys subscribe. And also follow me on my social medias, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. Because that's where I do all my updates. And if you want to follow me in my boxing career, just follow me on my socials. Just want to say I love you guys. I appreciate all your love and support. I'm going to wrap this up here. See you guys tomorrow. And slimification is out ya.